train your visitor. Is it recording? It is. Okay, welcome. This is the second edition of the Visitors Mazecast, where we're taking some people who aren't so familiar with maze, and we're going to guide them through the maze, sort of, and just kind of get a feeling of their take on it and how they see the maze. So you all recognize Nellie from last time. Unfortunately, Heather never made it out of the room of darkness, and so this is kind of a somber occasion. That's why you see so many people in black here. These are the mourners. This is kind of her funeral, but I don't think that she's dead. I think she's just camping in a very cold, dark place for a long time. So this is Nellie. Nellie, what are you drinking here?
Green tea.
Green tea. Just straight green?
Yes, as straight as Lipton is.
Uh-huh.
Do you think Lipton's a straight brand?
Well, you could have like green tea with mint or green tea, all sorts of kinds of green tea. So Nellie's drinking.
Yeah, I know.
And who is this to your right? Do you want to introduce her?
This is Sarah Abels from sarahabels.com.
sarahabels.com for all your needs. Sarah Abels, what kind of tea are you drinking?
Lemon ginger.
Lemon
tea. It's caffeine free.
Nice. All right, so welcome, Sarah. Thanks for coming and being a visitor in the maze. Sarah's never even looked at maze, so this is going to be especially exciting for her. And then to Sarah's right, who is this, Sarah?
This is David. This is my husband.
Newlyweds.
But old lovers.
But old lovers. And this is their honeymoon.
This is
Decided to take a trip into the maze. What is what more exciting way
It is.
thing to do after you're married? And David, do you have a beverage?
I do. It's
Can you hold it up so we can see it?
it's pure leaf tea, raspberry.
That sounds good.
Yeah,
What's in it?
for tea.
What's not in it?
Raspberries, sugar. There's some forms of cancer, so
Uh-huh.
this will be a short night.
All right. Common maze goer Barry would like that tea, I think. All right. So how this is going to work is I'm going to be kind of the de facto guide, but really all I'm going to be doing is reading out loud, and maybe if I feel like we need to move on, maybe suggesting that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to read out loud, and then our visitors here, Nellie, Sarah, and David, are going to discuss which way they would like to go, and then why. That's important. You have to say why, because that's kind of what we're getting after. We want your perspective on the book, as well as why you would choose what you choose. And that's a big part of going through the maze, is why you're choosing the door you're choosing. All right. Are there any questions so far?
Yes, I have one question. What if we imagine something that may or may not be there, but we don't really have any proof at this time of its existence? Can we use that as a reason?
Yeah, as long as you have a reason. It could be whatever reason. There just needs to be some reason. Ideally, you probably want to think of a reason that like someone else could think of too. Like you wouldn't be like, oh, I'm choosing this door because it reminds me of a dog I had when I was in third grade, maybe. But I guess if you really want to do that, that's okay too. I'm not going to say anything about that. So I'll start out by reading the directions. No, I'm not going to read the directions. I'm just going to tell you. The goal of this book is to get to the center of the maze and back out again in as few steps as possible. Okay. There's other goals to the book as well, but we'll stick to that. Maybe just try to get to the center of the maze, which is room 45. Okay, so now I'll read the prologue.
Told us.
And well, that's not a secret thing.
I wasn't told that last.
Oh. Well, it could be room 45, or that could have been a trick. The prologue. The maze. I met them at the gate, though I usually wait inside. Preoccupied with their own thoughts, impatient, like so many children. They didn't see who I really was. They never noticed my crown, my pain, the fire in my eyes. Like all the others who think the maze was made for them, actually, it is the other way around. They think I am some poet who will lead them through the symbols and spaces of this underworld. They think I will teach them lessons. They should call me Cerberus. I am the lesson. Even I get lost. Oh no, I skipped. Sorry. The monstrous walls rise up and run away as far as the human eye can see, circling and dividing. Which half is the maze? Even I get lost. It changes, sometimes slowly, imperceptibly, sometimes suddenly. This house is not only made of stone and mortar, wood and paint. It is made of time and mystery, hope and fear. Construction never stops. I take some pride in my role as architect. They think I will guide them to the center. Perhaps I will. The sun was very hot. Together we walked through the gate into, the page, the entrance hall of the maze. They looked carefully at the bronze doors, trying to choose. The uncertainty of visitors is one of my little pleasures. It's easy to get lost, I said helpfully. This can be a sinister place. The sun glared at me through the gateway. Something was ringing behind one of the doors. They spent some time trying to decide which door it was, not understanding that the silences of the maze are as eloquent as the sounds. Decisions, decisions, one said. Too many decisions. The story of my life, said another. We don't want to be late, said a third, opening one of the doors. Nary a soul to be seen, said the first, peering into the gloom. I waited patiently for them to choose which way to go into.
I would go to Fable.
Mm-hmm.
I like fables.
So, my first inclination is just go to story, just because of the drum and inflation bills ringing behind the red.
Is that loud enough?
I think you might need to talk louder.
Sorry.
And I'm going to try not to engage with what you say. So talk to each other, and I'm going to just sit back. But try to speak a little louder, I think.
I had a question I should have asked before. So I've been through part of the maze with Heather. Should I say the things that I or we thought when we were in?
You can say what you think as long as you still think it. I mean, I don't think you go through really, you really know whether or not you went the right way or not. So I think it's valid to kind of go with that. But maybe in some of these rooms that you've already been in, kind of give some deference to Sarah and David.
Right.
For their...
And it's true. I mean, I wanted to know if we went the right way.
Yeah.
And obviously we didn't.
Ultimately.
The silences are sounds. So something that was so good. Is that when you thought of Fable? Because
I thought of Fable because I like the word. And I don't. I just wanted some that was like really drew me. And I think fables are better than stories, tales, and yarns. Sounds more classy. So that's my vote. I like to keep it classy. But so at what point should we decide just to do it?
Well, you should kind of come to some consensus as a group. So, Sarah, David so far is talking about going to Fable because it sounds more classy. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah.
And Sarah was saying 20 because the drum rings out. Or is that right? Is that kind of what you're saying?
basically, that was my first impression. But then I read again that the silences of the maze are as eloquent as sounds. So I thought of something that was very silent. And I was thinking like Tigric, and like there's something very. I don't know how subtle this is or how overt. Like, what when you look at this?
It's funny, we didn't, the first time, Carol, we didn't talk much about the ringing, and so that's a really nice starting place.
Can we split up?
Oh, I was going to actually mention that because I thought you would suggest that. Answer that. You got to go with
Singing
scroll.
bowl. Yeah. Maybe we could use that to create a sound like the Tibetan singing bowl.
Mm.
Or maybe someone has done that
Yeah, and
and it's still ringing.
Maybe it's the spoon.
Yeah. Or maybe that's a Tibetan singing bowl and not a drum.
Could be.
It's got
so you two want to do 20.
no, not necessarily.
I mean, we can do that by majority. Just
Do we see anything down here in all these scrolls?
What's scary about that? I mean, there's one scroll that is behind door 21. It's leading to.
all of these scrolls, those say things like foolish and stupid. So that, I think, is a detractor.
That one has got like no way out. There's like no lines. Coming out. I don't know.
Well, and that is something with the numbers. It goes 1, 21, 26, 41.
Well,
41, it's close to 45, closer to 45, but not necessarily like we don't want to start like that close to, or maybe that's misleading.
well,
I don't think that matters. I think you're traversing across a range of numbers, but I don't know that for sure.
all these numbers are below 42. That's
Yeah.
another.
It's true.
It's another issue to consider. Well, I'm cool with Fable, but unless you all, make me feel inferior about it,
I will defer to
to my streams.
if you will.
So David's saying Fable because Fable is classier, and you're saying Fable because David thinks it's classier.
No, I thought that Nellie brought up a good point that the ringing could have something to do with the teacup. And so some kind of a homage to the singing bowl that they so lovingly got us for our wedding. Well, I don't know that there was love involved, but it was
Not inappropriate love, I'll say that.
It was appropriate love. Okay, so now that are you fine with going into 26?
Are you stringent?
Yeah, I'm okay with 26. 26.
Are there any two specifically that you can eliminate? Don't think would be.
So Lamar, comes there.
Yeah. I don't know. This kind of looks like a Buddha right here. It's at the top of the easel. It kind of looks like a Buddha. And over here, I keep thinking I want to read the word Zen. And that cup keeps making me think of a bowl of rice. And so
I think it's all good.
I think we're
all agreeing on 26. All right.
All right, here we go.
Different, interesting reason, but I appreciated that. That was good. All right, room 26. So while you're turning, I'll start reading. A dramatic room with 4 entrances and exits. Not enough light in here, they remarked. Not very tidy either. Which way now, children? I asked in my most patronizing voice. They objected to my tone, but it distracted them from the real clues. The game usually goes as I plan it, despite the intentions of my visitors, or perhaps because of their intentions. What the devil is this supposed to be? One asked. They gathered around, and I realized they were close to something. I quickly picked up the bell, ringing it loudly. Was this what you heard outside? Holding their ears, they ran out the door to...
I'm going to get a 1. Goes back to basics, you know. Yeah. Well, then,
You see that big moon?
I think what I'm thinking is that, see, these devils are coming up, right? And so the one that's fully up is 38. He's on 38, first year they. And I think that means that the danger in 38 is very obvious. It's like it's not trying to fool us. It's not trying to be a jerk about it. It's like, hey, I'm going to kill you. And I like that honesty. I want 38.
Do you want to go there?
Well, we know what we're getting into, right?
So the thing about the salt over there, you're almost like you're like a slug or something.
And we saw a slug outside.
But there's almost something about like this could be going. Like he's up, he's going down, this one's going fully down, and that's like when it's safe to like get past it into one of these doors.
Yeah, but there's danger. It's just not obvious. So
for those of you watching, Sarah was pointing to the doors on the left of the page where the trapdoor is closing. So she was thinking 30 or 36.
Or opening.
Yeah. Or opening, yeah.
Yeah.
And David was thinking 38 because the danger has revealed itself.
Yeah.
But not 1. You initially said 1.
Well, everyone thought I was foolish for that, so I switched to 38.
It kind of looks blocked, honestly, if you were to try to open it inward, that trapdoor.
Yeah, it's deterring you. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. And this door looks blocked too, and that door looks blocked.
So 30 actually looks like it may be accessible.
Yeah. Now, it kind of lacks clues though. I don't know. Trying to remember what we did last time.
Following me.
See, I can't lead us down the same path either.
You can say what you think.
I think we went through 30 last time. We came to this room last time, but for different reasons. But I think we came to the right room because of that bell that's there. But I feel like we went through 30 last time. And maybe that was fine because we went through several rooms. But maybe it wasn't.
Well, I say 38 unless you all force me in.
38.
I would say about your last time experience, then I would try not to let that persuade you either way.
Mm-hmm. Right, okay. How are we going to get through there? Like, it just looks so hard. Like, how would you get past that devil? I don't think, is that door going to open?
I think so. I think the devil would want us to, because it's dangerous. We have to be brave.
If the devils were leading us somewhere, look at his tail.
Can you say that a bit louder?
That devil's tail is pointing to 36. Well, I know.
It's true.
But I don't.
Well, you don't want to.
Yeah.
You don't want something where the devil's actually pointing you towards. That's not pointy. That's warning.
Sorry. All right, so far it sounds like David's still going for 38. Sarah and Nellie are considering the pointing aspect. Maybe something else?
Nothing like
Real clues. Nellie's going over the text.
real clues.
Shh.
He's looking over here.
Talking about the patrons sitting out in the audience looking.
I feel like they're looking back at us.
They're shushing us.
Their eyes are directed towards us, the viewer of this scene.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Yeah.
I feel like
We're trying to watch the play.
Yeah.
We're all like drunk coming in. It's just- No.
if you were frightened by a ringing bell that you had to go through these doors, there's this natural inclination to go through the path that seems the least obstructed.
Yeah.
But that, I don't know how that's too obvious. What are actual clues we can
Mm-hmm.
out.
Right. This is curious. Is that another devil?
It's a horn, yeah. It looks like a horn.
What the
It could just be drawn.
What the
is this supposed to be? Maybe we want to know what that is. So we don't know exactly. We think it's a devil, but it might not be a devil. What the devil? It's not a devil.
Nellie's referring to the leftermost trap door on the page.
Well, I'm not convinced yet. 38 is the best option.
If we were right there, and we were like, what the devil is this supposed to be? And then it was like, hey, what about this bell?
to distract us from?
And then they're like, we just go right out that door.
Maybe it does open inward.
Yeah. So one thing, like back on that page we were on before, some of the doors look obstructed. I doubt if this book would always have it that obstructions mean don't go through there. But that would be such a powerful, eliminator that I think my mind wants to think that way, but I doubt if it's actually so. Because here we would have, it would just be too obvious. And then we would apply that logic in the next room and it would work, probably.
So he's closer to the...
They're conspiring about the
And he's
leftermost
pointing
patron.
towards 36. This is a distraction. And he's telling us that it's 26. This is a distraction. This is all like, hey,
It's weird
what's happening
fast.
here? That this feels like...
But Sarah is proposing that the devil in front of 38 is a distraction, and the devil that's hanging up is pointing at 36, and that's a quieter space, right? Is that what you're thinking? So that's the way to go?
Yes. Fine.
Okay. So David's saying 38 still for his original reasoning, I think. They're saying 36. Nelly, what do you think?
You're the tiebreaker. Or you pick the...
Or do your own way.
Or if you go with one.
I kind of want to go for 36. 30 is so too obvious. 38 is also like too obvious.
So you're going 36?
And I don't know about one. Just can't really find any clues for one per se.
So let's do 36 then. Screw it. Let's do it.
All right, 36.
I'll lick my fingers and put them all over this book.
An old and ruinous part of the house. Turning the corner, the music we had been hearing became louder, and at last we saw the musicians themselves. They were so involved they failed to hear us. The music was suited to the scene, a moody, romantic melody. We stopped to listen, and I admit that I, too, was affected by the sound as well as by the spectacle of the masked players. One of the visitors noticed me listening. Beautiful music, don't you think? It's not bad, I said stiffly. The viol brings the right sense of warmth to the piece, but the guitarist is overplaying his part. Still, he adds a certain plangent brio to an otherwise introspective composition. Unwilling to interrupt the concert, we slipped past the musicians into the door to...
I say 16. No, I want to challenge them. You know?
You were challenged who? Other
The
musicians?
musicians, they're acting like they own that spot.
See, that doesn't feel past them. That feels between them to me. Between it.
Depends on how you walked. I guess you walked into it.
Although there is like a staircase. Looks like it's leading up to a dark. No, I always feel like you creep along in the dark. Awesome. But not true. An old and ruinous part of the house. This part of the house is more just, it's falling down towards the wall.
But there's only 2 numbers here, though, right?
Yeah, there are. I just noticed me.
So in case you didn't hear, Sarah was saying that the 16 door is old and ruinous. There's more towards the old and ruinous, and there's a dark staircase that she can kind of make out, that she can see them creeping up. So does that make you inclined to go that way, Sarah, or disinclined?
The text again.
Okay. Sarah's examining the text. Ellie.
It's a moody, romantic melody. Maybe that would put us in the mood to go up that dark staircase.
Well, there's something romantic about going up towards, what is there, a parapet up there? I mean, is there like a lookout, like some sea, you know?
Lots of ivy.
Yeah, torture.
Sounds like everyone's leaning towards 16.
Yeah.
You did say.
Y'all said
I
16.
began it.
Let's go with David.
Let's just David's
Well,
David's.
we've been safe so far. We followed one of my suggestions.
Okay, so we'll go the romantic path of David, the 16. A stone chamber, which reminded me of my old neighbors. Of course, that was a long time ago now, but would you believe their descendants are still telling stories about me and my family to their children? Even if most of the stories are lies and exaggerations, it is immortality of a sort. As I passed in front of an open doorway, a figure crossing the hall outside saw me and immediately ran off. "Who's that?" they asked. "Another visitor, to be sure." "Why did you run away?" "You probably scared him," I said, and they apparently believed me. With few regrets on my part, we left for...
We already went into room 36. And in the last room we were in, there was 7. I mean, if we go back there, what?
We're in a paradox.
We don't want to get in a trap.
This is like arguing within heart.
We got to go in 7.
And, yeah,
And like that could have scared him. He could have dropped his crown. Also.
Oh, I'm so scared.
Huh?
we have a choice. Well, yes, we do. But I mean, I don't. Let's do 7. I want to do it.
I mean,
That's the number
Maybe-
for God, so we're gonna say.
Well, then, Nell, you identified that in 36, you can either go back here or go to 7.
we got to go in 7. We just got to hope it doesn't lead us
There's no.
We don't know what 7. We don't know what page 7
It's
was.
good.
All right.
Sure.
Let's move on to 7.
Did you ever cross your...
Oh, we're so safe.
Kind of.
7 is a
We just didn't get stuck in a closed loop. We just got stuck in a dark place. Heather's still there.
Yeah. A pleasant room with 3 doors and a lamp. Looking at the picture on the wall, they decided it wasn't a very good likeness. One of them almost fell over something on the floor. Why don't they pick a bath for themselves, he said, sounding like an old man. Or, why don't they pick a bath for themselves, he said, sounding like an old man. Weren't you ever irresponsible, I asked, thinking of my childhood and how wild I had been. Music was being played somewhere nearby. We stopped to listen for a moment. Leaving the pictures looking out at an empty room, we went on to...
We got 36 and I was 17.
So 33.
We gotta go to 33. I wonder if there's any reason why we should stay in any of these rooms. So,
And that's not.
I mean, no, I mean, just like spend some time in there.
It's just, there
There are a lot of
are a lot of pictures.
But
Although they all,
looking at the picture on the wall. I mean, there's so many pictures.
they're all the same style.
there's a
Probably the
There's-
same photos.
this mirror.
It's like a reflection of yourself. You're like this beast.
Mm,
There is one, actually, there's one painting that is not like the others, and it's at 33.
One like
Yeah.
Easter Island face with hair.
Yeah. We gotta go there.
Sorry.
I like this.
Ever pick up that one?
The scat.
The room with no floor. They crowded each other on the narrow ledge. The bold one ventured out to the center. Realizing that they could see all of the signs only from the center of the room, several wanted to turn back. With exaggerated caution considering their predicament, they finally reached the door they wanted and eventually found themselves in...
Well, we've been to 7, right?
Right. Not with a 3 or 35.
Let's go to drum.
It is a door and that's
Page drum.
you can. I like what are these images? Images associated.
You can share Farrell's photos. So what are you seeing as you look at this, Sarah? Can you say it a little bit louder? Just trying to think out loud.
I was just looking at some of the objects that were near some of the doors.
Well, you can list them off, or just because you were kind of whispering to yourself. But if you just said that louder, then
I noticed the violin or viola that was near 35, as well as some of the placards above the doors, and like the things that we've seen before in some of the rooms to the crowd.
Well, here's one thing we could do. We've been in 7, right? So we could look at the symbols and all the clues that are around 7 and then go back to 7 and see if that had any connection to the room itself. I don't know if I see much, really. There's a dagger or a knife and a crown by 7. You go back to 7 and it's just a bunch of paintings. Not necessarily some kings. I don't really know. I guess the duck could be a jester, maybe? But I don't know. I'm not really seeing that there's a lot of clues that led me to 7 from these having been there.
just
That violin makes me think of those musicians, and those musicians kind of seemed a little bit sad.
One was comedy, one was tragedy. Where
Unless all these clues fit together, some ultimate clue thing. Maybe it's not so superficial as I once first thought.
I think this horn looks like auspicious. Like just a new day and
Let's go back. Let's
breakthrough. Let's go to 3.
Yeah, I'd say 3.
Because of the horn? Or do you have any other reason?
It's a small number.
Hmm.
Yeah, I want to go back to a small number.
It looks like maybe
Oops.
twins or something. Although,
We're examining the
it's
backwards next to 3.
a compact. Present yourself, and then present yourself.
What's the compact?
But we don't know.
That's like a Green Lantern.
Oh, it could be a thread, like a smooth, like a
Totes.
Bobbin.
a bobbin.
Mm-hmm.
A nipple ring. It could be anything.
Yeah.
Flooring. Oh, water. Nice.
Why do you think 3, Sarah? I got David.
Because I don't. We've been to 7, 35 with that viola, violin here. It just. Maybe the trumpet's more auspicious. She's
Room 3, an entirely different kind of place. The group complained of feeling altered around, as well they might. Because no one wanted to stay here very long, they missed the real sign while looking through the obvious. People in their situation, confronted with a challenge, tend to accept the terms of the challenge as a given, without examining it from all sides. How many sides does that problem have? They don't know. We passed down a long flight of stairs, through some sort of pantry, and on into...
I say 9. Because it's like, that could be like Trent Reznor's email.
that reminds the stick figure on the wall reminds me of the man creeping past that doorway.
Yeah.
Can't really I'm afraid of 9, actually. I think the end is at 9. We came through 3, and that's 3, and then this just looks like the end, like death.
So there's 33, which has the moon, and 18, which has the sun. And the sun this way.
Stop. What is it? They say stop because you're like, whoa, I am the two late.
What is yours?
Some say he did kill industrial music.
The diamond?
He began it.
Was the industry.
Just say 9.
Science examining it.
So David says 9 because of Trent Reznor. Right? That's your reason?
Yeah, it reminds me of 9. It's like an electric, it's like futuristic electric shells.
And does it change your mind if you knew that the book was written before 9 Inch Nail?
That makes it even more pressing.
Okay.
So painting.
Sarah's associating the word pantry with the pans that are in the page. I'm just saying it out loud so that people know what you're doing. It has nothing to do with say whatever you're talking about. I'm going to try to narrate so that they can hear. So don't let that change how you if possible. Before that, they were thinking about sun and moon. I missed some of their other. So it says we were talking about music. Music industry. Nelly sneezed.
And I kind of need a tissue.
She's going to get a tissue.
So what are you thinking?
Well, it says because no one wanted to stay here very long, they missed the real sign. So what's our real sign? This one is like
Something not
pointing at that being like this way. This one's like stop. But this one is what is your sign? Use your sign.
I think you're reading that backwards. So where are we going?
What is this? Leading
30
towards.
So, okay, because this is pointing this way, but everything's backwards, I feel like it's pointing towards this door, which is 33.
Don't look at me.
I'm looking at now.
If it's backwards,
Yeah.
then we should totally go to Nine Inch Nails, because that says stop, as in like don't go here. But if it's backwards, then you're supposed to, of course, go there.
This way and saying this way. So
No, see, this way, if it's backwards, you're not supposed to go.
I know, that's why I said I wanted to go 33, because it's flipped.
But there's a
That's true.
pot sign. So there's a stop sign, and I think it's reversed. Don't go there.
Pots and pots.
So we're supposed to go there. We totally have to go there.
I like the pots. The pots handles are pointing toward 9, and they're, well, like 1 could be here, but it's really mostly to 9. And the pots, that's a good one. So it's-
Yeah. We're going to 9.
Not because of 9 Inch Nails.
Because
No.
pots.
I'm scared, I will
That's
just say, but I'm ready.
What appeared to be an old door room. Dust obscured a damaged painting, making it hard to understand just what the artist had intended.
This is scary.
This could be a trick of some sort, one said. We might be going around in circles. I don't think so, said the thoughtful one. I think we're supposed to think it's a trick. That's trick. They all looked at me. Yes, I said. I'm sure you're right about that. With doubtful looks, they left for...
I guess 18.
Within the free.
We're about to solve this, guys.
But what if we had this chance to turn back? I mean, an angel, death. Angels,
Angel always bring good cheer.
do they? This could be bad. Maybe we should turn back.
I just think it means we're at the end. We've got this.
Well, on 3,
Why? What? 3 was where we was 3 where we were
Yes.
just now.
Yep.
I mean, I will go forward, but I just think maybe we need to think for a moment that possibly the next step is
The most useless thing is that which is behind me. That's a really chopped up Magnolia quote. Top
The most-
said that. FYI. So,
the most useless thing.
yeah. What did I say? Is that what I said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
blind mice. 3 blind mice. We're 3 blind mice. See how they... Oh, that's a bomb.
Yeah, see, 3 is blind. People that don't know where they're going.
Maybe.
So let's go to, I say 18. And look, there's like an apple. Or like
It's an apple.
Yeah, it could be an apple.
a sphere with a
Which
fly.
there was an apple on that one doorway. And
Yeah,
we
see?
didn't go.
Yeah, that could be an apple.
That's where we
Not
should
a
have
cute
gone to
one,
the
and it's an apple of death. But let's go. I don't know.
18, can you say why? Because of an apple? Or...
Because of the 3 blind mice that we don't want to go back.
Okay, you don't want to go back. Okay.
There's 3 again.
A much warmer room. Shadows danced across the floor to the fire's music. Someone's lost his hat. Are you sure it's the hat that is lost? I asked reasonably enough. No one would answer me. Ducking behind a curtain and hurrying down a passageway, we came out in
13. The luckiest number.
We've come this far. I love bowling.
I love 13.
Yeah.
So why 13? Because you love bowling?
Well, there's that hat. Does anyone know these musics?
That's what, bass, right? And that's, oh, was that clef? Oh my God, it's been so long. Clef note? Wow,
Bass clef.
I failed. I'm no longer a tromboner.
What do you see, Nelly? Nelly's looking at she's pointing at the 13 door. And now she's turning the book around.
See, I don't know about these clues.
What the
Because if you go to 3, look back at 3, it's like, how does that clue match up with this brew? My point is, how does that clue match
I don't have a clue.
It's just, yeah, that's what I would do. If I made this book, I would have all these supposed clues and they mean nothing. That's just right. That's what I would do. But I do a lot of bad things, like, so I say 13.
I think we already avoided 3 bars, so we'll just do it again. I don't know.
You think that's a sign to, like, giving you like that last chance to not die?
No, I felt differently in the last one. I feel like we've already like
Sure luck.
Made your mind up.
yeah. I mean, look at my will. Look what happened to my will. My will to go back. It's already been lessened substantially such that I'm ready to enter this another dark room and leave this room of warmth. Like, don't they say right before you die, you might like get warm and cozy?
Remember the passion of the little match girl?
Yeah. Passionate little girl.
Was it the movie quote that changed your mind that made you Magnolia quote?
No, it was because in the last room I said you should maybe go back, and now we're here and it's all warm and cozy.
Because of the Magnolia quote. Yes, Sarah.
Well, I was just saying, I mean, a curtain drawn aside is much more inviting than a curtain drawn across. For me, there's a fear factor here, whereas this is a little bit more inviting. Like, it's still
Traps are almost invited.
well, yeah, but you
I
want
might go there.
13,
Yeah,
so
I want to spring trap.
you're a bad rogue.
Room number 13. They weren't really comfortable here, and I knew why. No, they said, we're not all superstitious. Only some of you, then? They were worried it might be Friday. Well, it's true that it was closer to the end of the week than they realized. It takes a great deal of experience, certainly more than they possess, to understand how time works in the maze. The clock thought it was 6 in the evening. Quickly moving on, we came to...
It is Friday, but
Wow.
BT dubs.
Oh, how much powder for us.
Yes.
Yes. Clock. It says it's 6 o'clock. 18 is divisible by 6. We should have gone 18. No,
It's all now blur.
I think 18 was the falling down.
Thanks.
So I can't remember. For some reason, right when we came in this room, I thought we were looking at fresh numbers.
Okay.
You might be right.
Yeah. The skeleton. Is this clock moving or is it stopped? And this thing, what time is it? Oh, it's whatever time you want to make it. It's me just turning the lamp.
Oh, yeah.
We cast a shadow.
So in case you didn't catch that, Sarah is musing that you could actually change what time it is based on where you put the lamp in the room.
Assuming that's a sundial.
Strict.
Should be really crappy.
Someone just left a wood lathe sitting on it.
When they were working, see, that's what I like. No, I say 18. We did?
I feel like we've been to 18.
I can't remember. I don't think so.
See, neither of us are remembering anything, but
Yeah.
kind of.
I think we should go there to see if you're wrong.
We can go there.
That's what I say.
Should we think a little more though before we
Oh.
But you both were.
I don't know.
Next.
Ellie's noticing that there's an hourglass depicted above the sign that says millennium, century, decade, year, month, week, day, hour, minute. Yeah.
Yes.
Sarah's trying to figure out what time the sundial would be showing if the light were turned on.
Versus the clock, which is at 6.
It was got a little cough. Maybe we should drink some whiskey.
Or maybe he should just cough it out.
Yeah. You just coughing it out.
Yeah.
Back and we're done. And that's 0 2.
We're not superstitious. We're not superstitious. We're not all superstitious.
Only some of you there.
We're not all superstitious.
Only
So someone might
That is.
someone might be
Someone that's not a
superstitious by
software.
saying skeleton hawk might be scary, but if you're saying we're not all superstitious,
only
that's just silly.
I'm set with 18, but you alls need to say something.
I feel like we've been to 18, but I'm fine with going back because we could always.
I'm going to go to 18 to prove you wrong.
Okay.
It's kind of out.
Getting lost in
Do you want to go to 18 to try to prove Sarah wrong? You want to do something else? At least count towards the right.
I'm blazing through this too.
Juicy fruit?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Mind if I both a slice of that juicy fruit?
do it.
Ethereal smoke fly 5, 6. What would you call these? 3 split sticks. Plastic equals you go to 18. I don't. I'm happy to be wrong. Well, I'm trying to find reasons for 18. I think for some reason, if I wasn't superstitious, I would probably go into 27.
Why is that? This feels really odd. So if you weren't superstitious, you would go wherever you felt odd? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, David wants to go through to 18, so I was trying to think about some reasons to go through to 18.
You go by what was your favorite during your life?
Everything kind of looks sort of symmetrical things here. Where did you want to go, Sarah?
I really figured that out. I was kind of obsessed with this time notion in here because we've got, the hourglass sundial and the clock.
I don't know what those have to do with time.
Yeah. The clock's pendulum is swung to the right. And that doesn't mean that it's in motion. It could be a rest there.
But
If
the
I
director's
was-
chair,
Yeah.
the director decides when things go and they don't go.
Stop and they go.
Yeah.
Right. The light appears to be off now. It's not casting time. So are we going to go by this time? If I was superstitious, I may not want to go towards 25 because it's like
These obelisks are holding up these spheres.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
So Sarah was pointing out that the pendulum is pointing towards 25, and David's pointing out that the obelisks are holding up spheres.
Yeah.
And here's a seventh one.
Right. Yeah,
And that's a
another
7.
Oh, snap.
Oh, Ellie found an obelisk with a sphere shape in the
27.
director's cone. Yeah, so she's seeing the 7 there.
And two of us
equals 7.
saw the obelisks.
And 2 of them saw the obelisk. So there's 7.
I know.
Yeah.
And 2 and 5 equals 7. And 8 minus 1 equals 7, though, too.
Well,
Darn it.
I still want to prove Sarah wrong, so I'm going to say 18.
And
Okay, now let's say 27. What do you say, Sarah?
Well, I don't know.
You want to be proved wrong or
Just come up with the reason.
you want to go?
I think Nelly has a good reason for choosing 27.
That's good too.
Well, proving me wrong. That's not hard to do. So
We'll see.
I feel like you're trying to start.
So, Sarah, which one is it?
You're a tiebreaker.
If you pick 27, then that's kind of like saying that David's right.
Yeah.
If you pick 18, it's saying that you want to fight with him.
And I'll be right.
I don't want to fight. I want to solve the maze.
I want to live. I mean, I don't want to die in the maze.
Do we have a good reason for going to 18 other than that David wants to know that we hadn't been there before?
Well, David pointed out that the director's cone points to 18.
Yeah, and if it was 6 o'clock, that's straight up 6 o'clock.
6, 12, 18. Yeah.
I mean, there are some reasons maybe that we could come up with. Hey, look, there's another little obelisk. Is that what you call it?
I call it obelisk.
There's another one up there. That's 8.
No, they found an 8th obelisk.
Yeah, 18.
David uses that to support his 18 argument.
Yeah. And she's the only one that saw that.
I don't care.
It's solid.
I really don't care. I feel like you need me right now.
I need you, Sarah.
I don't think so.
I've always needed you.
Where's your heart, Sarah?
That's why I follow your heart.
Like, if you were walking, there's like, you had to get out of there real fast. Where would you go?
If hard, you find the answer. In your heart, you'll find.
I didn't want to step over that chord personally.
You follow your heart from here to either you won't get cancer, but the cancer might get you
Well,
if you follow your heart.
You're the tiebreaker, right? Yeah, you are.
Well, I think Nellie was rethinking her position.
Oh,
too,
okay.
So there might not be a tie. I don't know. Everything kind of went up in the air.
No, we're not all superstitious.
Only some of you then.
There is no time. So ignore the clock. Ignore these indicators of time. Ignore everything and just get out. You don't want to step over that corner and go through 27. Gone.
So now it sounds like you're still going for 27. A couple of reasons. David, you're still going for 18?
Yeah, that's solid on that. So
Sarah, I'm going to have to ask you to decide.
yeah, you're the most important person here right now.
That would be nice.
Do it. Brush.
Why would it be flat?
Nellie is looking at the hourglass and seeing an obelisk in the hourglass.
Well, it's kind of weird because why would you have that on times? That.
You're seeing a little
You're
dot.
gonna say 25, aren't you? You're just gonna see what happens.
No, that would not make a tiebreaker. That would make it.
But if you think 25,
You'd be the tie maker.
you can go that way and just try to convince people to talk about it.
Yeah.
We're back. I feel like this is clearly reminiscent of these office. And I feel like he's being on. Right.
So Sarah thinks the
I'm actually
looks like
agree.
the obelisk.
I've been feeling that too.
But the other obelisks Nellie has seen are hogwash, is what Sarah's saying. And Nellie agrees with that.
That felt like more of like that looks like those.
Straining the criminal stats. Really.
So if we're wrong on that, then 2, 5, 6, 7.
It's only pointing that way though because it was drawn. It's not actually. If you go by that perspective.
How do we escape time? Yeah.
Ooh, that's a push.
Which door lets us escape these time?
I don't think you escape time, you know.
Our visitors are wondering about how they can escape time.
You have an answer.
I have no answers.
Well,
You are a terrible god.
sometimes.
Or actually.
This is really a hard place for us. This is a hard place. This is so hard.
I think we should choose.
Okay.
Okay. Sarah, what is it going to be?
I have 27. I don't know.
Okay. 27.
I don't know.
There is no knowing. There's just... Go. All right.
Not all those things are wrong.
A darkened chamber dominated by a large figure. You can see that someone has been working here recently. The entrance I had so carefully hidden had been uncovered. I made a note to return as soon as I could and fill in the hole again. The visitors were so intrigued with the entrance at the bottom of the excavation that they ignored what the figure was trying to tell them. Where are the workmen? They must be ahead of us, I said. If we hurry, we can catch them. I mean, catch up with them. I herded the group through the door, too.
I say 9, because we'd been to 13.
Did we do 9 last time?
No, I don't
Did
remember.
we not? In that weird room with the...
I don't know. Well, then we've been to both. I just remember we've been to 13.
We wanted to go in 9. You wanted
That's right. 9 Inch Nails. So we had been to 9.
to...
Now we're in a loop.
So where can we go back safely? Which one is 13?
That was the room you just left.
So I say go back to 13 then, because we have to
18. Okay.
13, I'm not going to read it again. You want to go to 18 or 25?
Let's go. We were a toss up between 27 and 28 or 18.
Yeah, we just were at 18. Okay, so 18.
Are you guys good with that?
Yeah.
Okay, 18 takes us back to the... Sarah was right. They have been to 18.
We'll fight lady.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, let's go back to 13.
Okay, back to 13 again. That's the
Deflated.
We got 25.
I'm thoroughly deflated now.
We're not super
25. Process of elimination, they went to 25. A high room with the image of a crown on the wall for everyone to see now. Though one of my parents might be low-born, the other was close to a king. I've always felt at home here. Which door? Hey, they wanted to know. I rather brusquely indicated the 3 doors. Any of these is fine for my purposes. They were disconcerted at the apparent lack of clues. Perhaps in another room, they said, leaving for.
I see 34. So we haven't been there yet. Well, I guess we have done better.
Did you, when you looked up here, did you ever think that it almost looks like he's like dead here?
No, I think that he's either, well, so either going to be dead or scared.
Right, but scared would be better than dead.
Is this dark? Is this going to be
Is it?
nice?
So they're looking at opposite ends of the films.
Yeah, I could be bad.
spectrum on there. Noticing this